What's up, everybody? Welcome back to CAPI Live. Let's get some people on. Turn my phone down. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Cassandra. Everybody's starting to pop in now. Hope everybody had a good week. A good 2 weeks, excuse me. Hey, Donna. Everybody's starting to pop in. Thank you guys for coming tonight. Feels like it's been 2 weeks since I talked to y'all. Because it has. Y'all, make sure you invite everyone. If you would. A live chat. All right, we are there. How was everybody's week? Yeah, missed it. You missed it last week. Yeah, we didn't do it last week. We had a technical snafu. Let everybody get on, and I'll tell everybody what happened. It's silly, but it happens. My world is unbalanced without Johnny. Oh, thank you, Donna. My week goes better after the show too. It really does. My week used to go pretty bad if I didn't go to church that week. Like if I missed church for whatever reason, my week didn't go too good. So now my week, if I don't do a live show, that week doesn't go as well. Doesn't go as well as it would have had I done the show. Melissa says my week has been crazy, like always. Had a crazy week. Yeah, I'm going to promote Melissa a little bit. She has a couple of live channels on Facebook. Hey, Katie. Glad you're here. Where's John at? He's usually the first guy in. But yeah, y'all go check out Melissa on Facebook. Y'all go watch her lives. She's got a couple of things. I think you have some sort of game or somewhere you sell something or something I've seen. Melissa, if you want to, you can explain it. But she has crazy videos all the time. Y'all go check here. If you're not friends with Melissa on Facebook, make yourself friends with her so you can watch some of her videos. She did a video that was hilarious the other week, where she made homemade hot chips and hot sauce and stuff like that. And her husband and oldest son, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, Melissa, but I think it was her oldest son, did a taste test of her hot sauce and chips. It was hilarious. Y'all go check it out. Yeah, it was your oldest 13-year-old. Yeah. He's a big 13-year-old. I thought he was like 15 or 16, man. Y'all, just from what I've seen on Facebook, Melissa's life, like, it would be like entertaining to have a camera around her at all times. Like, it would be a good, like a reality show. You should look into that, Melissa. You should contact them. They tried to get us to do a reality show years ago, and we turned it down, but that would be hilarious. So anyone ever all Bigfoot, I think you meant to say seen or saw Bigfoot or Wendigo. I have a cool Bigfoot story, an encounter that I'll talk about in a minute. Our week has been crazy too. Dad was back in the hospital again. Oh my God. Is he okay, Katie? What happened? Why is he back in the hospital? I'm running out of yarn, Johnny. Oh, I forgot the yarn. I am so sorry. We've talked a couple of times, Donna, this past couple of weeks. You should have reminded me. Remind me by when? By Thursday. If you haven't heard from me, Donna, remind me by Thursday, and I'll get on that. I'm so sorry. I did forget the yarn. I am so sorry. Remind me if I hadn't said anything to you about it by Thursday, Donna. What else we got? I'm so sorry. I completely forgot about that yarn. My memory is just sucks. Bama Shucking. That's what it is. Melissa's channel on Facebook is Bama Shucking. Y'all go check it out. It is hilarious sometimes. It's hilarious all the time, but they all do like all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it would be a cool reality show. I would watch a CAPI family reality show weekly. I would watch it like every week. That would be super funny. Everyone says I need my own show. You do. I would definitely tune in to a CAPI family reality show every week. Okay, Donna, cool. Yeah, remind me by Thursday. Katie, please, what's wrong with your dad? You haven't said anything since then. What happened? Why is he back in the hospital? I pray everything goes okay with him. Katie has got like the most awesomest dad in the world, y'all. Where is John? That is starting to irk me. Let me see where John's at. Another blood infection, and humidin level was way too high, which means his blood was way too thin. Yeah, he's finally back out and back at the nursing home now. Thank God. Good. I'm glad that they were able to recognize that. Because a lot of times in nursing homes, they don't recognize problems. Believe me, I know. We're going through that with my wife's mother, and my mother is having some problems too. So a lot of prayers needed on this end. So you guys throw me your prayers big time. My memory sucks too. Yeah, I have a really bad memory. Yeah, Katie, let him know that we're all praying for him, man. He's a tough guy, though. He's been through a lot. Some of the stuff that she's told me, this guy is super tough. Super, super tough. He's one of the old school men. One of those that works his fingers to the bone. Still sending prayers your way, too. Oh, thank you, Katie. Yeah, we need as much as we can. Thank you, Cassandra. I don't know where he's at. He's supposed to be on. I need him on tonight, definitely, because we have an announcement with him. So I'm also going to fuss at him. Yeah, I just sent him one too. So I hope everybody's week was good except for that. Katie's scare and our continuing drama, health problems and stuff. I've been kind of down these last the last couple of weeks too. Like last Sunday when we couldn't do the show, it was actually a blessing, and that we didn't do the show because, hey Barry, I just saw you popped in. You still here, Barry? He was also having issues with shortness of breath. Found out his CHF has progressed more. Sucks seeing our parents age. Yes, it does, man, and it's really a testament to our own immortality too when we see that. I mean, we have to kind of bring into. I am not going to talk about it tonight. Okay. I mean, y'all can talk about your problem, your stuff going on, especially you, Katie. God, I hope he's okay. For those of y'all that don't know what she's saying, I was just saying I'm not going to talk about mine because I'm going to cry if I do, and I don't want to cry. I'm an ugly crier. Katie said he was also having issues with SOB, which is shortness of breath. Found out that his CHS, which is chronic heart failure, congestive heart failure, excuse me, has progressed more. Bless his heart. Sucks seeing our parents age. Yes, it's not drama, Johnny. It's a journey. It is a journey, Donna, but it's a broken, narrow road. That's a fact. Mom has Alzheimer's. Oh, Cassandra, I'm so sorry. I think that's what's happening with my mom. She is late stage Parkinson, and I think she has dementia. I haven't been able to go see her yet since this last time. I'm going to be getting there pretty soon. I don't do well seeing her like that, so it's been a kind of a personal battle. Sorry, one of the cats we got one cat in here and he's playing. She lives with us. Age is not bad. It's the fading away. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we can be done talking about it here too. You know me and emotions. Yeah, no doubt. My mom has it too. I'm sorry, Donna. Alzheimer's and dementia that's what I think my mom's starting to get into, early stage dementia. I miss my mama every day. Oh. On a happy note, I'm going to be an aunt again. Yay. Awesome, Katie. Congratulations. That's life right there, y'all. Y'all know that? That is life right there, man. We're sitting here and we're talking about aging and immortality and what it makes us feel to watch our parents age, because we have to come to the realization that we're aging too by looking at that mirror image of ourselves. And then Katie comes up with, I'm going to be an aunt again. I mean, isn't that life right there? You talk about what is ending in life, and then you talk about what is beginning. So that's pretty awesome. Whoa, we got deep that time. It runs in the family. Yeah, dementia and Alzheimer's it's a genetic thing, I think. I hope I never get that. Me too. I'd rather just go ahead and die. Y'all, John still has not popped in. Where's he at? I guess Barry left. Did you leave, Barry? You didn't have to leave. I didn't see you when you said hey until a couple minutes later. I hope you didn't leave. This is my adopted mother. Okay, cool. Aunt Katie has already been spoiling him or her rotten, and the due date here isn't until October 30th. I bet you have. I bet you've already been baby shopping. Well, I kind of wanted to hold on until John got here before we got started because he's kind of the guy that came up with the theme tonight with the topic. And what we're talking about tonight is going to be cryptozoology. If you do not know what cryptozoology is, this is the definition of it. I don't agree with the definition of it, but this is the official definition of it. It's a pseudo science and subculture that aims to prove the existence of entities from the folklore record, such as Bigfoot and Chupacabra and Loch Ness Monster, stuff like that. It kind of ties into cryptozoology, kind of ties into what our earlier topic and our ongoing topic of missing 411 is, because one of the biggest hypotheses right now attached to missing 411 is that it is Sasquatch related. So it kind of ties into what we've been talking about the last few weeks. So it's kind of like a good segue over to cryptozoology. And what about doppelgangers? Yeah, absolutely. Doppelgangers kind of goes into the third realm, but doppelgangers are akin more to ufology, that side of the spectrum of cryptozoology, more so than stuff like Yetis and Chupacabras and Loch Ness and stuff like that. But yeah, it is part of that. Doppelgangers are part of the cryptozoology. So, because skinwalkers is part of the cryptozoology. So yeah, you're right, Cassandra. Don't know much about the third realm. We've talked about it on here. It's just part of the it's part of the natural existence and mirrored reality. I did watch a bunch of videos on cryptozoology today. I did my homework. Cool, Katie. You ready? Where's John? That's the question of the evening, Cassandra. I would like to know the answer to that question myself. He was definitely supposed to be here. I do not know where he's at. He is not answering my text. He's not even looking at my text. I hope everything is okay with him. Everybody that has a way to get in touch with John, do it for me now. Whether it be messenger, text, call, whatever you can do. Get him on here because I need him tonight. He's supposed to be here tonight. I do not know where he is. I have a couple of announcements that I would like to do. And all of them kind of passion around him. So we definitely need him on tonight if at all possible. So you guys, even if you've already contacted him, do it again. Tom too, yeah. Holler at Tom too, guys. Y'all let Tom know and John know. Let them know. Melissa says, so my kids are convinced that our house is haunted and had the little boy who stayed the weekend with us scared to death. Oh my gosh. That video was crazy. I sent you. What did you think? I really liked that video, Melissa. Thank you very much for sending it. But I wanted to talk to you privately about it, and I will do so this week because we've seen more than just one. We really think you do have something going on there. So we may need to come pay you a visit. I might want to investigate your home, if that's okay. I wouldn't say I'm ready. Now, don't be asking me questions. I won't ask you any questions, but if you remember something that you saw today that ties into the topic, you can pop up. That's what I meant. I won't put you on the spot, Katie. I wouldn't do that to you. Excuse me. Diet Coke makes you burp. Okay, awesome. And yes, anytime. Yeah, we might need to do that. We have investigations coming in now. I appreciate that. We have investigations coming in. So unfortunately, they're not the type of investigations that I can take a huge crowd on. We're still working on that. But that's one of them announcements that I had tonight because I wanted John on. John's really working on getting us a place to do the team investigation. And he's got some really good prospects. So I might be doing that pretty soon. Allison too. Yeah, I don't know where Allison's at either. I tried calling Allison this week because she wanted me to call her and I couldn't get up with her either. So let's see. I already did John. Where's Tom? And then we need to do Allison. John's got me worried. John never misses a show. He's always the first one on. I think he's been out of town. And Michelle. Michelle's not here either. His wife, Michelle. Let's see what she's doing as well. All right. Let me get to your guys' comments. Something else I appreciate that. Allison 30 years into Tom and Allison already. Thank you, Cassandra. I don't have his number. Michelle just texted me and we'll ask her where he's at. Oh, he's driving to Huntsville. That's why he's not on. He's driving. Oh, he's on. Here he is. Hey there, John. Are you still driving? Bad cell service. Got you. Michelle said she forgot. So maybe she'll be here soon. So don't do anything dangerous, John. I was telling everybody that I was going to get on to you because you wasn't on tonight. Because I needed you on tonight. But now you're on, so we're cool. So we just need Tom and Allison now. And Michelle's here. Hey, Michelle. We can't do the show without you guys. Come on. What are you doing? Michelle's forgetting. John's working. Get with it, people. All right, so now that John is on, we have like 8 people on. I'm going to go ahead to been trying to connect. This is Michelle. Allison. She's busy, so and she told me why, but I'm not going to share that. But she's accounted for. All right, so that's everybody but Tom. All right, so now that I know John is on, I told John that we were going to make an announcement at the meet and greet this month. John doesn't even know that I've changed this, you guys. So John, I have changed that. The reason I'm changing that is because everybody might not be at the meet and greet, but on here we've got people like Katie and well, Allison, not Allison, but Veronica, but I don't think she's on either. Someone contact Veronica if you can, because I know she won't be at the meet and greet. But anyway, our big news about John. I'm playing a game. Yes, you are. What's more important, to show your game or us? What is it? What's more important to you? Your CAPI family or the gang? Are you coming to the meet and greet? Who are you asking, Michelle? I'm doing both. That's a chicken crap answer. You still don't say who's more important. She can do both. Oh, you're asking everyone if you're coming to the meet and greet. Yes. Who else coming to the meet and greet? Y'all tell us. Because you have to go RSVP so John knows how many tables to get. Okay, Cassandra's saying as long as her mom's doing okay, she's going to be there. Cool. Anyway, let's get with the announcement. You guys see John interacting with the show. He's even been on the show. He's helped out with the research. He's helped out with, he got us that guest. I can't remember his name. Kyle Cobb. Was that him or Melissa? I don't remember. But anyway, he helped us question him. That's what it was. Yeah. But he helps out a lot with the show. What you guys don't know about John is because you can't see. All you guys see is what's happening on the show. Melissa, that's who it was, guys. Cal Cobb. But you help with the questioning. But what you guys don't see is what goes on in the behind the scenes, the everyday workings of CAPI and our management and what our getting investigations set up and getting research done. And you guys do not understand a lot of these, like the notification thing that John set up. He did that on his own. He created an email account. He's done, I can't even sit here and tell you guys how much stuff John has done. And so I told John, I said, as soon as we get you through the steps that you got to climb, I definitely, going to talk to you about being a permanent member with CAPI. And he was excited. He said, that's awesome. That's what he wanted. And so last week, I think it was, maybe the week before, Corey and I talked about it. And we did something that we've never done before. When is meet and greet? John, if you would post that real quick, post all the info really fast to the meet and greet. I know it's the 16th, but I don't remember where. I know it's at the Mexican restaurant, but I don't remember the town. I've got it all written down on my calendar. and Michelle has it on hers. But if you would post that really quick, because they're still asking about that. Anyway, John does a lot for the team behind the scenes, guys, and he's just been phenomenal. So one thing I have never, ever done is invited anyone to be on the team that has not gone through all of the steps. Now, John has done everything except for an investigation, like many of you guys have. So that's all he was waiting on, was the investigation. Well, a position was open in the team as case manager. I needed a case manager bad. I asked John, or first Corey and I spoke, and we kind of talked about it, and we were both like, without a doubt, hell yeah. So I offered the position to John, and he accepted. John is now the newest member of CAPI, and he is the new case manager for CAPI. John knows all of this. He just didn't know I was going to announce it tonight. I was supposed to announce it at the meet and greet, but I got to thinking about it this week, and I said, not everybody's going to be at the meet and greet, so why not just announce it on CAPI Live? That way everybody will know. So the one thing that John doesn't know is this is something else I haven't ever done. I've never promoted anyone from a position that they just got, really before they even got a chance to really get into it. But tonight, in front of everybody, I am actually going to offer the position of team manager to John. Team manager is basically the boss. He will. Now, one thing you have to realize, John, and everybody else has to realize about CAPI is we are very paranormal mindset. We're very passionate about the paranormal. We're very open to the paranormal. That's our passion. That's our goal, is to get all the evidence that we can get. But we're also very family oriented, and being family oriented and a Christian based team, we look at stuff like family and work and stuff like that. To provide for your family, you've got to work. You can't just sit on your butt. John does that. John works his butt off. So never will I ever ask John to do anything that would take time away from his family or his job. So I do the same thing with CAPI. CAPI is my baby. I created CAPI. Corey and I both created CAPI. We made CAPI what it is today. We do everything we can for CAPI. We put a lot of work into this, a whole lot of work. Y'all just don't know. But family comes before CAPI. Work comes before CAPI. And religion comes before CAPI. So it's family, work, God, CAPI. And that's the way it always has been, and that's the way it always will be. You do not have to ask me if John can. There. What is that you're posting, John? It just asked me to approve it, so I approved it. What is it? Is that the RSVP? But I need a team manager. I need somebody that's going to be a go-getter. Team manager basically does everything academically, I guess you would say, for the team. Administratively, yeah, for the team. That's what I need on the team right now. I do need a case manager as well, so I'm going to be looking for that as well. But some of the things that John's been working on, John, I did get that form. I just got to print it out. And I'll talk to you about that. I got some questions about it, but I'll talk to you about that off air. But I need to know, how we need to do that. If I just need to fill it out, or if you want to fill it out, or if you want to deliver it, or if I mail it, all that stuff. But we'll talk about that off air. It's boring stuff. Nobody wants to hear that. But John's been working on, he's been making some contacts, y'all. Yes, it's the RSVP. Okay, if you're going to the meet and greet, which is San Antonio Grill in McCalla, Alabama, March 16th, which I believe is next Saturday. Oh, I don't know why I keep saying the 16th. That was the last one. April 20th. Yeah, April 20th at 5 p.m., which is next Saturday, in McCalla, Alabama, which is just like between Montgomery and Birmingham. It's not that far. So you guys go to that link there, click on that link. If you think you're going to go now, but there's like I think Cassandra said that she wants to go, but she wants to make sure mom's going to be okay. Cassandra, go ahead and RSVP. If you plan on going, go ahead and RSVP. If you don't make it, that's fine. It's better to have too many chairs than not enough chairs. See what I'm saying? So if you think you're going to make it, go ahead and hit it. Go ahead and RSVP. If you're planning on being there, go ahead and RSVP if you haven't already done so. And if you don't make it, that's fine. We can just give the chair back. We push it across to another table. But we just need to know. We want to have enough chairs for everyone. So. And you guys can bring your family. You can bring your husbands, your wives, your kids. You can do anything. This is a meet and greet. We didn't really talk a whole bunch of paranormal last meet and greet. We did some. We wound up doing an investigation afterwards, a really good investigation. But so it's just a meet and greet where everybody gets together and has fun. So it's nothing. Don't not bring your kid if you think like you have a 12-year-old kid. You don't want them to be scared or something. You don't want them to know that you're into this or whatever like that. We just don't talk about it. So it's not that kind of thing where we just get in a big circle and talk about ghosts and goblins. All right, we just get there, we eat. If you want to have some libations, that's fine. I did last time. I think I was the only one that did last time. But if you want to have some drinks, that's fine. We don't overdo it, of course. Michelle says our daughter will be there. Michael or John and Michelle's daughter was there last time, and she is a hoot. She's awesome. We had a really good time with her. It made me sad that I didn't bring Dakota, so I'm probably going to bring Dakota this next one, so that they can hang out, because I know they'd have fun together because she's really girly. But yeah, it was awesome. It's at the San Antonio Grill. Yep. Look, he even put the address on there. It's 4760 Eastern Valley Road, Suite 140, McCalla, Alabama 35111. So yeah. So let me see y'all's comments. I haven't been paying attention because I've been running my mouth. Let's see. Yep, congrats, John. Oh, congratulations. Wow, wow, wow. John says, wow, wow, wow. Congrats. Everybody's saying congratulations, John. But there's a kick to it, though. It's right off the interstate. Okay, cool. Yeah, when you first said that's where we're going to do it, I looked it up, and it is. It's right there off the interstate, so you don't have to worry about having any trouble finding it. So just get your GPS to take you to that exit, and boom, there it is. So you'll see it. But there's one little thing that's missing from all these congratulations and appreciate that and all that and stuff like that. There's an answer. He hasn't answered. He hasn't said, yes, I will take it. And if anyone has any questions or issues getting into the RSVP, yes, holler at John if you have any problems getting into it. You can holler at me. John says, yes, Johnny. Okay, thank you. Congratulations, you are now our team manager. This has never happened before, y'all. That's how hard this guy works. I tell him all the time, I said, man, you're working harder than the team. You're doing more than we are. And he does. He's got, man, y'all just don't know. North Alabama's fixing to know CAPI. They fixing to know some Central Alabama Paranormal Investigations because of John. He's getting contacts, the right people too. He's talking to Parks and Recreation. He's talking to, I think he went to the Chamber of Commerce on some of the places, the Historical Commission or whoever that was that you talked to. I've got it. He's sending it all to me, but he's making contacts in the right ways. Guys, when I first started in Selma, Alabama, and I wanted investigations, and when we first started CAPI, that's when CAPI started, we were in Selma, and there was nothing to do. I mean, we couldn't find anywhere to go. Anytime we even talked about it, people just turned their nose up at us. And, we kept getting hit by the Southern Baptists. That's devilism. That's Satanism. You can't do that. I will do my best to make you guys proud. You already have, John. You already made us so very proud, and I know it's going to be. I look forward to a lot of years working with you, bro. I really do, man. I hope that everybody that joins the team is as passionate and hardworking as you are. I really do. But remember, like I said, your family, your job, and your church comes before CAPI always. Um, but when we was in Selma, I mean, everybody I talked to, and then the people that were open to it didn't want to do it because of. I'll go ahead and say it's because of Rick and Bubba. Y'all heard the Rick and Bubba radio thing? Well, every year they did. I think they still do it, but back then they did a thing called 30 Days of Halloween every October, and they would go to these different places. Well, what was happening is they weren't getting any evidence, so they were kind of sprucing it up a little bit, kind of seeing if seeing how much stuff they could make up, and it put a bad taste in it. It put a real bad taste in people's mouths about the paranormal. And so what I did is I went to the Chamber of Commerce and I said, look, my name is Johnny Rushing. I've been in the paranormal for 20 something years. Then it was 26 years, I think, when we first started. And we have a local paranormal team. I would like to investigate anything that's got any type of history of hauntings. Selma, Alabama, this little town in Selma, Alabama, not only has the civil rights history, but it has the Civil War history and the mecca of Southern manufacturing history. Selma has the largest historic district in the Southeast. So I said, there's got to be a lot of stuff there. So the lady at the Chamber of Commerce said, oh my God, we've been waiting for something like this. Thank you so much for coming in. Let me give you this. She gave me all kinds of pamphlets. She gave me all kinds of maps. She gave me all kinds of locations and people to talk to. And we went and we just started investigating. We were investigating literally having 3 to 4 investigations a week. And on weekends, we were doing 3 or 4 a day. It was blowing up in Selma. And so one day we said, why don't we create something where everyone can enjoy the paranormal in Selma? And so we created a thing called the Haunted History Tours. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. We created a thing called Haunted History Tours in Selma. I'd been a part of something like that before in central and southern Mississippi. So I basically knew exactly, knew the ins and outs of how to do it. And so we formed a committee with a bunch of people in Selma, with the Historic Commission, with a lot of the museums, and they have a thing there that they've had for years called the Civil War reenactment, as well as a thing called pilgrimage. So a lot of those people came in, and we kind of cooperated a lot of stuff together with that. And we made this huge thing called the Haunted History Tours, where we incorporated the famous cemetery where William Rufus King, the vice president, is buried. And then Cahaba, the first state capital, got wind of it and said, hey, we want in on this. And so we said, okay, well, let's go out and check out Cahaba. So we went and did some investigating out of Cahaba, and we fell in love with Cahaba. We became the resident paranormal team for Cahaba, and they came into it. And to this day, they still do those, in that tour every year. And it's very ludicrous for the sites. And then we went to, when we moved here, we said, well, why don't we do that? We need to, well, actually, when we moved here, we did a few investigations, and then we heard about Wetumpka, and we went over to Wetumpka and did some investigations. And then I went to did the same thing I did in Selma. I went to the Chamber of Commerce and talked to them, and they said, yeah, we got all these places you can go to. And so we went into these investigations. The thing about Wetumpka is every time we go somewhere, something was haunted. We got evidence, got really good evidence. It's like every place, every site we went to would just, it would be like we'd have 5-6 sites a week, and then one of them not have anything, but the rest did. So it was just like that. And then so I got to talking to the administrator of the downtown planning and Chamber of Commerce, and said, hey, we in Selma, we did this huge haunted history tour. we could look into doing something like that here too. And so we kind of sat down and we kind of mapped it out and looked at it and said, let's do this and let's get all these investigations done and these investigations. And I said, that's something we can do in a couple of years. I said, a couple of years planning, because in some, that's what we did. We had 2 years to plan this, and then we put it all together and executed it, and it just went off like a bomb, and it was awesome. And then like 2 weeks later, one of the administrators at the Commerce calls me and says, hey, we've got tickets sold to this thing. We're going to do it this October. And I'm like, whoa, no. We're not doing it this October. We're doing it in a couple of years or maybe a year. Let's, got a little planning to do here. We can't just jump into this. And she's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. We've already sold tickets. We're going this October. And this was like August. And I was like, holy crap, man. And so, yeah, we had to jump right in it, and we did it. And to this day, they still do the haunted history tours in Wetumpka. So that's just the way you have to do it. And you just jump in, and it works out. The people love the paranormal. So John knows that. John's been doing that. And that's North Alabama's fixing to know who CAPI is. So we really appreciate that. And that's why I offered that position to John. Okay, so let's see. Blah, 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 blah. I'll do my best to make you guys proud. You do so by going to San Antonio Grill. That y'all's way of thinking you get out of coming to San Antonio, Texas. No, it's not our way of getting away. Hey, Katie's been sending me some stuff that I'm going to share with John. I got to forward a lot of stuff over to John because she's sending me some stuff from San Antonio. Y'all, I'm looking forward to a summer trip to San Antonio. I really am. So that might be something that we've got it on the back burner. So that's something we might need to be talking about. So y'all need to put that in the back of your brain. Think about, you might be interested in going on a little Texas trip with us. Rick is my cousin. Nunchuck Rick. Nick. Nunchuck Nick. Nunchuck Nick. I think I said that right. Hello, Nunchuck Nick. I love nunchucks. That was my weapon of choice. That and a staff was my weapon of choice in Orthodox Rinjiru Jiu-Jitsu and Kimpo. So I love that. The staff and the chucks were my weapons of choice. I just found my nunchucks the other day and was playing with them in storage. But yeah, I like your name. That's cool. Rick is my cousin. Is that, you said Rick is my cousin. Is that Nunchuck Nick? Is that who you're talking about? Yes, Katie, if at all possible, we would love to get out to Texas to see you. We are going to make it to Texas as soon as possible. Rick is a nut. I love the guy. We just need to push the merchandise to get the funds. Exactly, John. Everybody stop buying the merchandise. We got to get that merchandise out there, man. That's what we need is the funds. I'm outside my hotel in Huntsville now. Okay, go get checked in and everything, John, and then get back to us. Glad you made it, honey. Yes, honey. We're all glad you made it, darling. Birmingham and Huntsville. Birmingham already has like a little tour thing, but we can do it too. Absolutely. I'm trying to get something like that in Calhoun County, but I need your advice and help. Melissa, we'll talk, darling. Absolutely. We will definitely talk. I've done so many of them now that it's just like back of my hand stuff. Yeah, definitely. We will talk. That's awesome to hear you say that. I would love to help with Calhoun County. I've got a few sites in Calhoun County that I've investigated. So yeah, we can definitely talk. I could have a newer, bigger house by summer too. Katie. Oh, y'all, she sent me a picture. Y'all, Katie moving on up to the east side. Katie got a nice house. Well, they don't have it. They're looking at it, but it's gorgeous. We could all stay in her house. They got a pool too, an in-ground pool. We can go swimming. It's a big house. Nice house. No, Rick and Bubba. Oh, Rick of Rick and Bubba is your cousin. I got you. Okay. Well, I don't have anything against him. I don't. They just kind of messed up the paranormal for us. Or get with Johnny and Melissa. What is or get with Johnny? Send me a message. Oh, you're telling Melissa to send you a message. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We'll talk to you, Melissa. We'll definitely get that started. I can definitely help you get that going. That's awesome. I would love to get mini sites going in the state of Alabama doing history tours, haunted history tours. I love the haunted history tours because not only does it bring out the paranormal, but it also brings out the history of Alabama. Guys, Alabama is so rich in history, and I don't know why more places, in Alabama does not tap into that. Y'all know that Selma is bankrupt right now? It has the largest historic district in the Southeast. It's one of the most famous cities in the world, and it's bankrupt. They literally have firefighters and police officers working with no pay, and city workers being fired and let go because they can't afford to pay them. The city is falling into ruins. It's sad. It's bad leadership. It's bad management. I don't know how this new mayor is that just got elected this last time because he walked into a hailstorm. So I don't know how that's going to go, but it's sad that city is dying the way it is because they could really, really, really profit off of what that town has to offer. They really could. It's historic wise. In-ground pool and hot tub, such a pretty covered and uncovered patio, perfect grilling after investigating. Y'all, I've seen pictures of this house Katie's talking about. It is freaking gorgeous. It's like a mansion. Yeah, it is awful. All right, guys, let's talk cryptozoology now that we got all the other stuff out of the way. John has accepted. Everyone said congratulations. I'm looking for a case manager now. I'm just saying. I'm looking for a case manager. I need a case manager. All right. I'm still trying to get in touch with University of Montevallo. Yeah. I don't think you did spell that right, but I know what you're talking about. I would love to get in there. They told us no years ago. They said not no, but hell no. But there's a lot of activity there. That's one of the most. The University of Montevallo is known for the hauntings. Shadows of the Moon. Hi, all from Alaska. Just found you and saw and subbed. Thank you, Shadows of the Moon. We appreciate that. Hit that notifications bell for me. You'll know that we're on every week, every Sunday at 9:00. So welcome. We're a paranormal group. That's what we talk about is paranormal. Tonight, our topic is, we're just fixing to get into our topic because we've been handling some business. But our topic tonight is cryptozoology. But Wetumpka was hit by that storm, so that maybe it's going under. No, Wetumpka's not going anywhere. I promise you. Wetumpka's way too strong for that, darling. That storm's not taking Wetumpka out. They're fighting back and coming back. They did not qualify for federal aid, but it doesn't matter. Don't worry. Wetumpka's not going nowhere. It's not going under. Not quite mansion status yet. That's close as you can get, though, Katie. Yeah, I like your name too, Shadows of the Moon. That's Nunchuck Nick and Shadows of the Moon. That's pretty cool. I like those names. Yep. All right, cryptozoology. I want to start this off with a story. We got one right now in Montgomery. You have one what right now in Montgomery? Casino won't let Montgomery. That's right. That casino shucked out a lot of money after the storms too, y'all. They've helped out a lot, even though some of the churches gave the money back, which I think was ridiculous. But say la vie. That's them. We've got one right now in Montgomery. A storm? You're having a storm in Montgomery right now? They said tomorrow, late tonight, tomorrow is supposed to be bad too, around here. So maybe your storm in Montgomery will go the other way. But yeah, it's supposed to be getting pretty rough around here. Some damaging winds and stuff, but we'll survive. Shadows of the Moon. That's a cool name, Shadows. I like that. Um, we're going to talk about cryptozoology, and y'all know what I've already said. I don't really agree with the name. I mean the definition, but it is a pseudoscience or a subculture, and it aims to prove the existence of folklore, basically. Um, and y'all know that CAPI, we don't um, we don't investigate stuff like ufology and yetis and chupacabras. I never say that right. Um, we just don't. I wish you would come out of that closet. There he comes. Y'all were babying our cat, one of our cats. We had all of our male cats fixed, and one of them had some issues down there, so he hasn't been able to go free yet, like the rest of them. So he's been kind of like in solitaire, and he's just so sad walking around. He misses his family, but he can't get with the other cats yet because he's having to heal. He still has some time to heal, so he comes out every now and then and sees me, and then goes back in. But yes, skinwalkers, stuff like that. Hey, my dad lived in what's oh man, isn't it a small world? Her dad lived where Shadows is moving. That's pretty cool. But we don't get in. Says she is excited for you to see what a good Mexican restaurant is like. Cool. I'm glad to. I'm ready for it. From Western New York. Awesome, Shadows. So glad you joined us tonight. Um, but we don't really get into stuff like that. We really just kind of keep it in on the haunting side, and the only reason for that is is because I'm sorry, I keep kicking my table, but the only reason for that is because I'm kind of a skeptic, logical person when it comes to the paranormal. I don't believe a lot of the stuff, but I don't not believe as in there's no way that could exist. Like with ufology, I say that's a lot of wasted space out there if there's no other life out there. Um, Look how close we are to discovering life on Mars right now, even if it's a microorganism. If you guys have seen that, there's hydrogen there. Um, so, and methane gas, and that comes from bio. So there has to be either something there now or was something there not long ago. So, I mean, look how close we are. We're fixing to see the picture, fixing to see our very first look at a black hole. I mean, come on, leaps and bounds we're jumping in the space science. So I think we're really close to finding out what's happening out there. So I do believe that it's a possibility, but I've never seen anything that would tell me 100% that is real. The only thing in the paranormal that I have seen that I do not do is Bigfoot, Sasquatch. I don't do, we don't do those just because I've had opportunities to, and I've gone on a few, but I've just always kind of geared towards the haunting side of the paranormal because that's what I know. And, but I did have an experience whenever I was really, really, really little. Sorry, I couldn't say anything. When I was really little. I'm going to tell you guys what happened, and then y'all can make up your own minds because I still don't know what exactly happened. But I was very small. I was a toddler. I don't remember the exact age. I'm thinking around 2 or 3. I was in North Alabama at my aunt and uncle's house, and whenever I was that small, I spent a lot of time with my aunt and uncle uh, and their family in North Alabama, and they were cutting down trees. When I saw the first really big pine go down, I was just flabbergasted. I was just like, what the crap? This huge tree just kind of topples, and you hear the chainsaws cutting, and you hear them whacking it with axes and all this. And then all of a sudden, this big tree makes a big groaning noise and then just slowly falls and hits the ground, and the whole earth just shakes. And I just thought that was the coolest freaking thing in the world, y'all. I just said that's like the biggest thing ever. You know, a 2-year-old. That's just something awesome, right? So I wanted to watch them. Every one of them. They were taking down this. They were clearing this whole side of this land, and I was watching them clear it, and it was like the best thing in the world. And when these trees would fall, and so I wanted to watch it. And so my uncle got me, and he took me over again and put me up against this stump, this tree stump where they had already cut the trees, that section of trees down. And he said, "You can sit right here, and you can look down the hill at us as we're watching, and you can watch the trees fall. But do not move from this spot. You do not go anywhere, from this spot." Because he wanted to know exactly where I was at. Because if I went down too close, the tree fell the wrong way, squished little Johnny. So I'm down there, and I wasn't close enough. I remember I wanted to get closer because I couldn't feel the ground shake anymore. I could see the trees falling, but I couldn't feel the ground shake anymore. And so I got closer. I went closer to to where they were at, and I found a spot that was out of the way, and nobody knew I was there, and because I was really small, and so these trees are falling. Well, I fell asleep. I was up against a tree stump or brush or something. I don't remember, but I fell asleep, and I woke up whenever I thought my uncle picked me up, and I've never told anybody this story outside, family, but I woke up. And I remember thinking, why is my uncle running with me? He's got me in his arms and he's running. And I'm trying to figure out, what's going on. And I remember thinking how hairy he was and how big he was. And I look up and I see this massive face that looks down at me as we're running. And we're going really fast. And I kind of just looked up at him and then kind of went back down into his chest. And I remember he was just so hairy, and I was like, "What the? And this is not my uncle. Whatever this is that has me, it's not my uncle." And I looked down into a 2-year-old. You're up this far, up in this giant's hands, and you look down and you see the ground, how far away it is. That's what scared me. That's one of the weird things about that experience, is that it didn't scare me that this big hairy creature was holding me. What scared me was how far away from the ground I was, and he's running. And I feel vulnerable, and that's what scared me. I don't know why. I don't know why the big hairy monster didn't scare me, but as far away from the ground as I was, that's what frightened me. But right after that, I kind of went back out. I kind of passed out, and I woke back up, and I was next to a tree, and not a tree stump, but a big tree around all these other trees. And I remember hearing them call for me. My uncle and the other people were hollering, "Johnny, Johnny." And so I went walking towards the sound, and it took me a long time to get there, but I finally got there, and they were all mad at me. First, they were happy they found me, but then they were mad at me. Some trees had fallen, and one of the workers said that he had saw me down there and thought that's where my uncle had put me. And trees had fallen on that area. They thought the trees fell on me. And so they were looking under trees and trying to find this little squished body. But that's my only experience with something that would be, I don't know if it was a Bigfoot. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, where I was at when I fell asleep was where those trees fell, where I thought I would be safe, but could still feel the ground shake when the trees fell. Had I stayed there, and I would have, because I was asleep, I'd fallen asleep, I would be dead, because that's where the trees fell. And so this big whatever that was way up off the ground cradled me and ran and took me into the woods. And so I didn't get squished. But several times during my life, I've thought about that and wondered if it was a dream, or if it was just one of the people that was there picking me up and getting me out of the way. And I just don't remember it because I was so young. That's possible, I guess. I don't know. But my experience and my realization of it is that I was picked up by something that was super tall. To a 2-year-old, I was way off the ground. It looked like I was on top of a building looking down to my eyes. I'm sure I was no more than 10 or 12 feet. But Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do. But if it wasn't, okay. If it was, okay. Either way, I'm alive today because of it. So um, I've done research, and there has been uh, reports of Bigfoot doing something to intervene with someone's safety, for their own safety, that they went this way or had they done this, then they would have met with peril. And there's also been stories of Bigfoot being the aggressor. So, take it with what you can, and, make your own assumptions with it. I don't know. I wished I would have been a little older so I would remember it more vividly, but I don't, because I was really, really, really small when it happened, 2, 3 years old tops. So that's my only experience with a hairy, tall creature in the woods. Um, if it was Bigfoot, I'm internally grateful because not only my life, but all my kids' life is possible because of it. So that's my only experience with it. I've never seen anything else. I've never seen tracks. I've seen tracks, but the tracks that I saw were later, were later found to be falsified. So the two experiences that I've had outside of hauntings in the paranormal was Bigfoot and crop circles. I cannot freaking talk tonight. John, you want to do the rest of the show, man? Crop circles and Bigfoot, both the two experiences that I had, other than the one when I was young. But I don't know if that's what it was or not. That's just my memory of it. But in investigative field, the only two experiences I've had with Bigfoot and crop circles turned out later to be proven to be falsified. So I didn't have a whole bunch to go on. So I mean, like I said, that's my. Does anybody else have any experiences with anything, as far as cryptozoology goes? Have you ever experienced anything in the paranormal um, field as far as cryptozoology with Bigfoot or chupacabra or um, anything like that? Has anyone ever went and seen the Loch Ness, or not only the Loch Ness, but what's that other one? It's right there close to it. I can't remember. If anyone knows, what is that? There's another one. There's another Ness uh, right there close. I can't remember what is that. There's another uh, creature in the water right there close to Loch Ness. Let's see if it brings it up. Oh, what an experience, though. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, like I said, even if it wasn't a Sasquatch, that was still where I fell asleep. If I would have still been there, I'd be dead now. So, Loch Ness is a large, deep freshwater loch in the Scottish Highlands, extending for approximately 37 kilometers southwest of Inverness. Its surface is 16 meters above sea level. Loch Ness is the best known for Loch Ness, also known especially as Nessie. It's not going to say anything else. There's another creature there close to Loch Ness. If anybody knows how to figure that out, how to look that up, please do. But yeah, there's another creature close to Loch Ness that also doesn't get as much um, press as Nessie does, but it's something there. We have the big toe here. No idea what it is, but my mama would scare the hell out of us kids telling us he was in the woods and would come get the bad kids. I was always bad. That's too funny. Heck, was that a nap? I don't have any experiences, but I love hearing about cryptoids. I am near the Alaskan Triangle, but too many bears out there to go explore. I hear you, Shadows. I've never encountered a bear. I've seen them in the wild, but I've never, gotten up close and personal to them. Thank God. I bet very dangerous. Yes, no doubt. But I do want to go on a another Bigfoot investigation though. Jefferson County, Alabama has its own version of Bigfoot. It does, John. Really? I didn't know that. Please tell. I did not know that. It has something to do with. There's been sightings in Jefferson County. I didn't know it was anything that close. I would love to go check that out. Let me look that up. Bigfoot in. From Bigfoot to big cats, what's rumored to be hiding in Alabama woods? It says last week, Animal Planet aired a 2-hour special about Alabama man's hunt for a strange creature that was said to have attacked him in the woods of Walker County. I know where Walker County is. That's where my family's from. We never found out what it was, and the ending of the show left a few more questions than answers. I did not know that there were sightings of Bigfoot in Alabama. You guys, and I've just seen where they say the phrase skunk ape, where people talk about how badly he smells. Bigfoot, that is. I don't remember an odor, a bad odor. I think I would have remembered that. I mean, I really don't. I don't remember a really putrid odor. And there's been a couple of reports that there was one where a man and his 2 sons were surrounded most of the night by multiple Yeti or Bigfoots or Sasquatches, and they never reported any type of bad odor either. So I don't know what the whole thing is on that. My experience, if that's what I encountered was a Bigfoot, then I it didn't it didn't. I don't remember it being a putrid smell. Where was that pic of Bigfoot in the 70s taken? That's a good question. I know exactly which one you're talking about. That's the one where they had all the analysts get on him, get on that picture and or get on that video and did said the way he dropped his shoulder when he turned to look and the way he was walking and kind of up like this, it really kind of pointed towards it being an actual Sasquatch. I know which one you're talking about. Let me see if I can pull that up. I think this is the one you're talking about. Is this the one you're talking about? If it is, that's the one I'm talking about. So let me know if that's the one you were talking about. Cassandra. Shadow says, I've had 2 experiences with bears, but they were cubs, nearly from their mama. Those are dangerous too, man. They might play with you, but mama ain't gonna play when she finds out you messing with them. That's for sure. Bigfoot to me is a protector of the woods. You know, Shadows, with my one and only experience with that, I have to agree with you. I really do, because that's, I felt protected. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be here. Neither would my kids if it wasn't for that. So whatever that was that picked me up and took me several hundred yards away into the woods saved my life. So I gotta have to agree with you there as a protector of the woods. So it protected me. It's blonde. It's the Jefferson County wild thing. It was back in the 70s, supposedly. That's cool. I didn't know anything about that. Maybe Hulk Hogan. that saved me. Was that Hulk Hogan? Yeah, they never did debunk that video from the 70s. That was the 2 guys on horseback that found him. Maybe a North American gorilla. Yeah. Yeah, that is it. Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah, it was never debunked. No one could ever, I mean, the costumers from Disney at that time said they couldn't have made a costume as lifelike. That's right. I remember that. Yep. So that they couldn't have made um, the way it was, the muscle and the way it stretched and the way it turned and the way the muscles reacted. And whenever it looked, it had to drop its shoulder to look, because primates have those, inverted shoulder thing, and they have to kind of drop their shoulder to turn and look. And the way he did that to look, I mean, it was just, everything pointed to that being real. There never has anyone ever been able to debunk that. Let's see if the video is on here, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. They couldn't debunk it. Let's see. It'd probably be best to go to my trusty YouTube. Can you play YouTube videos on YouTube? I'm sure you can. Where is it? Yeah, it's never been debunked. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, but here it is. Try to get it. All right, y'all watch this. Watch whenever he comes out, and then as he turns to look, watch his right shoulder. That ticking you're hearing is an 8mm camera. We'll get a little closer. I forgot this was the complete video. All right, here it goes. Watch this. It'll get better. Hold on. Normally he was kind of shaken up whenever he first saw this. See how he dropped his shoulder to turn and look? So, I mean, they've attempted so many times to debunk that. Professionals, zoologists, professional videography, photography, everything. They've tried everything in the world to debunk that. And they haven't been able to ever since the 70s. So, where are we at on this? The video print to heard of. What is cryptozoology? John, you know what cryptozoology is. We just said what cryptozoology is. It is the pseudoscience aimed at proving the existence of creatures in folklore. What type of creatures fall into that category? Anything from folklore. Bigfoots, Loch Ness monsters. Oh my gosh. Yes, thank you, Shadows. He's helping me. He or she. Shadows, you or he or she? Doesn't matter. I just didn't want to call you a he if you were a she, or call you a she if you were a he. Werewolves, chupacabras, Jersey devils, stuff like that. Yeah. I think John's just asking questions to answer questions because he knows. Has a man's gait, though, but arms are way too long. He does have a man's gait, doesn't he? Thank you for picking up on that, Cassandra. The only thing is yes, that's the reason. I knew it was, John. I know you. But a lot of times you do that because I didn't say it, though. But I did say what cryptozoology is, so you can't get me this time. But the way y'all saw it when he was walking, I was actually wrong. It was his left shoulder. I forgot he was walking. I thought he was walking towards him. I think it was on the second part of that video where he's actually walking this way, or that was filmed the way it was filmed. Actually, it is his right shoulder. He is walking. They're sitting here and he's walking like this. It looked like that because you're watching it from this video. That's why. It was his right shoulder that he drops. As he's walking and he's swinging those huge arms, he has to drop this shoulder to turn and look. And his head's kind of down like that. He does have a man's gait. But some of the things that you don't hear a lot about with Bigfoot is the whistles. They have a communication through whistles. The samurai chatter. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that, but the samurai chatter. They actually do have a language. If they do exist, just from reports, they have a language that they use through whistles and samurai, what's been known as just best described as samurai chatter. And the reason it's called that is because it sounds, if you guys look up, do your research on Bigfoot, on Sasquatch, but also don't just go through the like Wikipedia and crap like that. And I don't want to say crap because Wikipedia is not crap. It's pretty cool. I use it all the time. But don't just rely on that. Go to videos, go to interviews. Coast to Coast has some awesome Yeti interviews. I always treat the stream like it's someone's first experience with a paranormal stream. That's the way to do it, John. Absolutely. You're the man. Y'all see why I love him so much? John, the man. Melissa, thank you for asking that question. That's mine too. There's two questions in when it comes to Yetis that I always ask. One, why haven't more of them been seen? And two, why haven't the corpse been found? We know they got to die. Everybody got to die. So why hasn't the corpse been found? And people say stuff like, well, people died. You don't see their corpses laying around all over the place, but you do see them though. You know, corpses are found all the time in the woods. Go back to our last topic that lasted 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Missing 411. Look at all the bodies that's been found. People, you do find every animal on Earth, their corpses have been found. Sea creatures, we're all the time finding different fish and, what has happened? Can you guys still see me? Am I still here? Uh-oh. Guys, if I'm still here, give me a second. My screen just went out. It should come back up with this, though. What the crap has just happened? Where's my... There it is. Okay, there I am. Okay, there I am. Can you guys still see me? Looks good, Johnny. Yes. Still here. Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry. My screen just went. All right. What did I miss? Thanks, Jim. That's good, Jimmy. Yes. One of the reasons I think it's an elemental. That's a definite possibility. Shadows. Why hasn't more people seen them? That one can be explained away a little easier, I guess, because even though there's still a lot of activity in national parks and woodland areas and stuff like that, I think that an animal could hide. I think that there could be more than just Bigfoots or Sasquatches that we don't know about that's in our forest areas. Because if you just look at someone earlier was from Alaska. I don't know if they're still on or not, but just look at some of the area in Alaska. Look at some of the area in Canada and northern part of North America. There's definitely a possibility that it's more stuff there for us. But I do agree that more people should have seen them if they're there. But there's a lot of hypothesis on that they're able to cloak. I don't really believe that, but I guess it's possible. They're able, but they are master of camouflage, which I do believe. So I mean, they could be that, but the whole thing. Why haven't more people found their corpses? Why haven't at least one? Not more people, but anybody. Why hasn't one corpse ever been found in all the history of Sasquatches? That's a big thing for me there, because you know they got to die. So I mean, it looks like you would find them. So a corpse. So I don't think they call it the local funeral home. The Yeti funeral home. What is an element? What is an element? Oh, we're just talking about him. Is extra dimensional. Yeah, I've heard that one. Extraterrestrial as well. But some people believe that. There was I don't know if you guys ever watched the $6 Million Man, but there was a series called the $6 Million Man, and they did a whole show, a whole part two. There was a part one and a part two show on Bigfoot being an alien. So that's a possibility as well. Who asked what is an like earth spirits or fire, water, air spirit? Yeah, thank you, Shadows. You answered it for us. Yeah, like fairies, exactly. Sealy or unsealy. Yeah. Some believe they bury their dead under large rocks. Absolutely, that's possible too. That's might be why we've never seen a corpse, is because they do bury them. Maybe they were heading for extinction. I can never say that word. Extinction. I can't say that freaking word. Extinction. Yeah, extinct. Possibility, but there's still reports on them, though, Cassandra. We still get reports to this day. The one I was telling earlier about the father that took his two sons camping and spent most of the night surrounded by these, and they experienced the whistle and samurai chatter communication too. That wasn't, but just a couple of years ago. So yeah, there's still, there's fresh stories of them. So some believe the government covers their existence up. I don't believe that, John, because what would they gain from that? I don't see what they would gain from that. There's nothing for them to gain. I think if the government knew about them, they would definitely tell people about them. Probably government covers up a lot. Government covers up everything. Stupid government. They know about UFOs. See, I see them covering up UFOs because there's something to gain from that. Some believe the Native American tribes disposed of the bodies. I've heard that too. Yeah. They have something to gain from ufology, from covering up ufology. They don't have anything to gain from covering up Bigfoot. Technology and space race and space travel and time travel and wormholes and stuff like that. They have the whole knowledge and technology that they can gain from covering up ufology is big. But what could they gain from covering up Bigfoot? Well, I have seen some crazy things in my life. So just because we haven't seen Bigfoot or a UFO doesn't mean it's not real. That's right, Melissa. That's definitely right. I say with UFOs, well, I mean, I know UFOs are real because a UFO, if you think about it, all it is I'll go outside right now and if I see a light blinking in the air, it's a UFO. 100%. Anything that you don't know that's flying in the air that you don't know what it is, it's a UFO. I mean, it could be an airplane, it could be a satellite, it could be the space station, it could be anything. But it's not, if you don't know what it is, it's a UFO. It's an unidentified flying object. But as far as extraterrestrials and life on other planets, I think that's a lot of wasted space if they're not there. So what's to gain from them? What's to gain from them? What do you think, Sandra? Like the missing 411, how they refuse to help investigation of disappearance in national parks. I agree. I don't see the reason. That's the one thing that John Pilates talks about on the missing 411 issue is they don't, the government doesn't help, but they actually have helped before, John. I don't know if you've heard about that, but they have helped before. They've sent in rangers before. Yeah, David, thank you. Sorry, David Pilates. What did I say? John Pilates? Something like that? Yes, David Pilates. But they have actually helped, but they are real secretive on it. They won't communicate anything. But yeah, the whole thing the whole hypothesis on the government cover up on missing 411 is because, and I agree with David Pilates on this. I don't think this is the case. I don't know why they're covering it up, but they are. I don't know if it's an entire government doing it, but I do know that at least the Park Service knows more than what they're saying. But there's an hypothesis out there that says that they're not more cooperative and not more involved in these cases because they're scared people will stop coming to the parks. I don't believe that. I was listening to an interview not long ago that speaking of that, remind me, John, to say about getting David on the show. I forgot to tell everybody, but anyway, I don't believe that there's just not enough to there's not enough to gain from covering it up just so people will stop coming to the parks, because the parks do not make any money for the government. Okay, as it is right now, the people that are coming, they don't make any money for the government. Um, United States does not pay its bills through the Park Service. It actually costs us money. Cost us a lot of money. They would have to triple or quadruple their attendance for it to actually be a profit for us. So I don't see them not telling anyone, or not being cooperative, or not being more forthcoming on the missing 411, just so people will keep coming to the parks. I really don't, because that's the first thing that closes down. Y'all notice that? When there's a shutdown, or they're having to tighten their belt strings, the first thing they do is shut down national parks, because that hemorrhages money. The National Park Service does. We don't make a bunch of money on that. We don't make any money on it. That cost us to do that. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think we should still do it. I think we should put more money into it. I think there ought to be more rangers and more help there. But I understand that, the money doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, and unless you have a president like we've had before that creates money out of magic, then, it doesn't happen. So, but yeah, I don't see them benefiting anything on that by covering it up. I think there's more to it that they know about, the Park Service knows about. I don't buy the whole, they're always, anytime someone comes up missing, or anything that happens, anything to do with anybody getting hurt or missing in the park, they say we don't keep records. We don't. Bullcrap. You know what's going on in the friggin' parks, okay? I mean, they know what's going on in the friggin' parks. Even David Pilates has been approached by park rangers and SAR teams that's told him, hey, we agree with you. Something's happening. We don't know what it is. And he's even said that he doesn't always believe them when they say they don't know what it is, but there's been encouragement. That's why he keeps doing what he does, is because so many people come to him that aren't supposed to be talking to him, that says, hey, there's something here. You need to keep going. You need to keep digging. So I think that's one of the reasons why he keeps going. So he was asked not long ago by Coast to Coast. He said, how did he form that question? He was saying that there's not going to be an answer to missing 411 in your lifetime. You're going to die with not knowing what's going to happen, what's really happening here. So why continue the research? Why continue putting everything you have, which he does, he puts his entire life into this, into that. So why would you continue to do that? And he said, because whatever research that I can come up with, it can help other people. And he's fixing to release a new book that he says is going to help, other people that have followed him in investigating this. So if it doesn't happen, he basically, in unquoting, in so many words, basically he said, if I don't figure it out in my lifetime, at least I've eliminated this so that the next person can take it from there. So, and that's the way you do research. That's the way you do in paranormal. If I don't come up with the holy grail in the paranormal, if I don't prove without a shadow of a doubt 100% that ghosts exist, at least I've already made the mistakes that the next person doesn't have to make because of me. They can continue on. That's why I push. That's why I'm so passionate. That's why I'm so big on education when it comes to the paranormal, is because I don't want people doing it like they do that crap on TV. We've already done that. It doesn't work. You don't need a dowsing rod. You don't need a Frank's box. You don't need all this crap. What you need is your own common sense and a few pieces of equipment to do this. Do it the right way. That way you don't make the mistakes that we've already made. All right. If we don't know our history and we don't learn our history, we're doomed to repeat it. All right. So don't do what you've already done that doesn't work. Continue on. So, and that's his feelings on that as well. All right. Off subject, but my husband and I are starting to prep like extra food, water, and eat, because we believe the world will get bad because of like a government shutdown or whatever reason. Your thoughts? Circle back to that. That's a big one. federally protected wilderness area where sightings of Bigfoot have occurred, disappearance of people that may have seen something possibly paranormal. We did that for Y2K. Everybody did that for Y2K, didn't they? I didn't, because I didn't believe anything was going to happen, and it didn't. It seems like a possible conspiracy situation to me. Federal protected wilderness area where sightings of Bigfoot have occurred, disappearance of people that may have seen something possibly paranormal. I see what you're saying there. Yeah, and I agree. That is a possibility. I don't see that they would gain that much on something like that. And the risk far outweigh the reward. So I could be wrong and you could be right. That's a possibility, but I don't think that it goes government wide on that. I think there's a few departments within military SAR and parks and recreation, stuff like that. So we can talk later. Yeah, we'll debate that one. We'll debate it on here. That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind. But it's off subject. Let me reread Melissa. She said, off subject, but my husband and I are starting to prep like extra food and water and S. I think he's saying eats, because we believe the world will get bad because of like a government shutdown or whatever reason. Your thoughts? I don't think there's going to be a shutdown so big that it would affect our commerce and our abilities to survive. Not at least not in this administration. I do believe that it's hard to get into that subject without bringing up politics. I know what you're saying, and I agree with you on a level that says, you can come in, that says that that's a possibility. But how do I say it? If the opposite side of what chair is being filled right now, we'll say this as best as I can without getting political, but if the opposite side of what chair is in power right now, not what power is in right now, but the opposite side of that chair, I say chair because I don't want to say aisle, if y'all get my drift. But if the opposite of that, look who's here. One right there. Oh, I love him. Regains power in 2020. I believe that anything is possible and nothing is off the table to remain in that power. Did I say that right? I hope I got that out without getting political. But it's never a bad idea to plan for that. Prepping for that is never a bad idea. I agree 100%. That's why I will always be armed and ready, no matter what. As long as I'm alive, my family will be protected with guns. No matter what law they do or whatever, what was just standing beside me will always be protected by force, by lethal force if need be. So John says, hey. He said, greetings, beautiful girl. Melissa says, hey, pretty girl. Hi. Hello. So there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. I don't call you a crazy for doing that. I think that anybody that preps for anything like that is very smart, and there's nothing in the world wrong with it. Keep doing it. And if you're not doing it, it's not a bad idea to start doing it. You never know. Cassandra says, hi, Dakota. Hi. I'm going to bring her to the next meet and greet this month so you guys can meet her in person. She's going to be at the next meet and greet. So. She loves Mexican food, so not a bad idea. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. If you're not prepping for some sort of, I think we're overdue. I really do, for something big. We haven't had anything big in a long time, and they come whenever they can. But I think we're overdue for an attack or disaster or something. So I'm leaning more towards disaster. There's been a lot of earthquakes in the South, namely in Alabama here lately. They've been really small, but they've been plentiful. So I think we may be headed for something like that. Something along the lines of continental separations. I think we're overdue for something like that. So yeah, it's not a bad idea to prep for anything. Be ready. Absolutely, definitely be ready, and be ready to defend your property and your lives. So, y'all know how crazy humans get. So no, I don't have anything negative to say to that, Melissa, whatsoever. I think that's a good idea. I don't think it's going to be for the reasons that you asked, but you also said for whatever reason. I 100% agree. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. We have 2 ponds full of fish. We have cows and chickens and a garden with veggies and plenty of firearms. So there you go, Melissa. I'm coming to your house, man. I have a buddy that has, when it comes to firearms, I have 2 buddies. Actually, I have one that any type of a gun that you need, he's got it. And I have another one that actually rented another house besides his house. He owns a house, and he leased another house to keep his guns in, literally. So yeah, I know where to go. There are countries that were once extremely wealthy because of a change in political power. They have fallen to third world levels within a very few. Yep, absolutely, John. The word for today is Venezuela. Y'all know in Venezuela, they rushed the zoos. They bum rushed the zoos to get the meat so they wouldn't starve to death. Venezuela, once a very profitable, very huge place. We all need to band together. That's right. CAPI family better take care of CAPI family. Y'all hear me? CAPI family member comes knocking on your door when something happens, you send them away. You bet. Why is there only 2 likes? And 7, there's been 8 people on. There's only 2 likes. Y'all don't like tonight's show? I told y'all, even if you liked it before, every night you have to like. If you like the show. If you don't like it, don't like. Hit don't like, but hit something. Hit like or don't like. Up or down. Preferably up. But I'm talking to you, all you regulars. Only 2 people have hit the like button. And guess what? It even tells me who hit the like button, so I will know who you are. Who? So now I know who did and who didn't. So I'm looking at y'all. Y'all hit them like buttons. And if you haven't subscribed, I think Shadow said he did. I don't know if Nunchuck Nick is still here or not, but if you haven't subscribed, please go subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button so you'll be on the notification list for our shows. We do a show. We do a show every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Get him and take him somewhere, please, over there. Somewhere? Okay. Yes, because he's getting all of my wires and everything. So
I'll keep him over here because he goes close to me.
The word was socialism. Yeah, that should be the word, is socialism. There's 7 online. I'm showing 3 likes now, yeah. I'm only showing 3 likes. There's 7 people, but 3 likes. So that's 4 people that hadn't hit it. There's a delay. Well, it should be on my side. No swearing, John. You said socialism. No swearing. That's a bad word. All right, did we not cover anything tonight's topic on cryptozoology that anyone wanted to cover? The like button, Cassandra, is the thumbs up. It's just a thumbs up. You just click on the thumbs up. What the crap? What's wrong? Why'd you say what the crap, John? John is upset. Why is John upset? Talk to me, John. Control to John. Thank you, Veronica. Veronica is here. Hey, Veronica.
Cass, come here.
You don't have a thumbs up. Why do you not have a thumbs up? Let me see.
What happened? Yes. Good boy. Just didn't see me doing that, did you? Just didn't see me doing that, did you? There's something in here.
Okay. Cassandra, it should get him, please.
I forgot.
It should look like this. So you'll have me up here showing you the phone. And under that, I'll say CAPI Live. And then you'll have the thumbs up right here, thumbs down. Then you have the share and all that stuff. But the very first one is the thumbs up. You see it says 3 under there? It'll have a thumbs up and then a number, and then it'll have thumbs down and a number. So far, right now, the thumbs down is 0 and thumbs up is 3. But I have 4 on my screen over here, but on this screen, it only says 3. And so you just hit that thumbs up, and that's your thumbs up. Now, if you're viewing the comments, if you've got the comments pulled up on the bottom, just clear the just go out of the comments. There should be an X there, and you can just go out of there. It'll take you back to that main screen. So give that a shot. YouTube is another good source for you guys to go to on Bigfoot stories. It really is. There's a lot of them that's on there that's good. Yeah, now I'm showing 8 people with 6 likes, so that's good. Thank y'all for doing that. Click out of the comments. Right, you just click out of the comments and it'll pop up and it'll show you that it's there. I've been here since you got on. Why haven't you been talking? Have you said anything and I didn't see you? If you have, I'm so sorry. I haven't seen you talking tonight, Veronica. You just been listening. Because I was talking about you earlier that you wasn't on. Oh, yeah, you did talk. I'm sorry. I saw you there where you said you were still here after my screen went blank. So, yeah, you have said something. You've participated. I was worried earlier because John wasn't on and Tom wasn't on and who all else wasn't on? Veronica. I didn't see Veronica. I should have done my participants button and it would show me everybody that was on that I want to know. But yeah, I was scared. It's like, where are all my people at, man? Gotta have my peeps. It doesn't show me anything. I don't know what to tell you. That's weird. I don't have that button part. That's the first time I've ever seen that. I don't know how you're watching YouTube if you don't have that. That's crazy. I'm sorry, Cassandra. I don't know how to. On the bar that says live chat, hit the X. Yeah, if it says live chat, hit the X, Cassandra. And it'll drop that and bring you back to the main screen. I don't know how you're watching YouTube without that. It's on every YouTube. Yes, just quiet. Veronica's so quiet. So quiet. All right, did we not cover anything on cryptozoology that anybody wanted to talk about or ask questions about or comment on? Katie, you watched all them Bigfoot videos today. Do you have anything you want to say about those? I'm not asking you any questions. I'm just saying. Put my response twice. Johnnyception. What is Johnnyception? I don't have that button for her to click out. I liked it. It doesn't show me anything on the bar that says okay, got it. Okay, she got it. She figured it out. Are vampires real? No, vampires are not real. The vampire fish is real, but the vampires are not real. Now, the vampire society is real. There is a society of vampires, but they're not vampires. They're not walking dead, blood-sucking ghouls. They think so. Yeah, they think they're real. Within the paranormal, unfortunately, another thing gives us a bad name. There is a society called the Vampire Society, and they are vampires. They do partake of blood, human and alike, and but they're not dead. They're alive. They're just really out of their minds. On my older iPad, I don't know how to type in chat. I can see what people write. Yeah, that's crazy. Some of the devices you can't do certain things on. Yeah, Cassandra got it. She figured it out. You put up your phone, then the images on your phone did the same thing over and over. What? I put up my phone? What are you talking about? When I was showing the videos? I don't own the rights to those videos. Let me go ahead and say that I showed. I forgot to say that earlier. I don't think it's a problem showing YouTube videos on YouTube, but just in case it is, I apologize and I do not own the rights. I don't see the videos. I mean, that particular video. I'm not going to just sit here and look at that. Okay, John, that's fine. Werewolves are in the Bible? Oh, you're talking about? Oh, God. Hold on, let me pull it up. All right, here it is. Bible facts about ghosts, vampires, and werewolves. Are ghosts mentioned in the Bible? When Jesus was walking on the water at night, the disciples saw him walking on the sea. They were terrified and said, "It is a ghost," and they cried out in fear. That's in Matthew 14:26. We know it was not a ghost, but Jesus. Some people translations call the Holy Spirit the Holy Ghost, but the word for ghost simply means spirit. Stop it. So actually, ghosts are not in the Bible. There was a time when King Saul called Samuel back from the dead, and God, as part of his judgment on Saul, allowed Samuel to speak to Saul. 1 Samuel 28. But all that Samuel had to say was that, moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with you unto the hand of the Philistines. And tomorrow you and your sons will be with me. The Lord will also deliver the army of Israel unto the hand of the Palestines. 1 Samuel 28:19. Vampires mentioned in the Bible. Some claim that Proverbs 30:14 is about vampires, which says, though there are those whose teeth are swords, whose fangs are knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, the needy from among mankind. Proverbs 30:14. The context of that has nothing to do with vampires. Rather, people actually devour the people's wealth and create poor among the people. The Bible is so full of what's the word I'm looking for? That people take it the wrong way and it's translated, but yeah, they're not feeding on the people, but on the people's wealth. The fact is that drinking blood of any creature, man or beast, is sin. Leviticus 17:10 through 14, because the blood represents life, and the Old Testament, that was punishable by death. Are werewolves mentioned in the Bible? I couldn't find a single Bible verse that had anything to do with reference to werewolves. Paul mentioned wolves many times that would come, as he said, after my departure, fierce wolves will come in among you, not sparing the flock. Acts 20:29. And Jesus warned us to beware false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. Matthew 7:15. But these wolves are analogs for those who are cloaked in sheep's clothing, meaning that they look like Christians, as sheep are often an analog. An analogy, that's the word I was trying to think of. The Bible's so full of analogies of the church. Even Peter used an animal in describing the nature of Satan, writing, be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around you like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. Why in the world would we post a daily devotional about ghosts, vampires, or werewolves? Because surprisingly, the question of whether these are ghosts, vampires, or werewolves comes up, and people want to know if they're mentioned in the Bible. Now you'll know how to answer it if someone asked you about them, and the answer is absolutely conclusively no. So, there you go. It's how people are translated. Daniel 4. Yeah, look at the new international version, so I don't have all these D's and vowels. I never say this king's name right, but King Nebuchadnezzar. I never say his name right. But y'all just look at it and see what it says. This is Daniel 4. To the nations and peoples of every language who live in all the earth, may you prosper greatly. It is my pleasure to tell you about the miraculous signs and wonders that the Most High God has performed for me. How great are his sins, How great are his signs. I don't think God had any sins. How great are his signs, how mighty his wonders. His kingdom is an eternal kingdom. His dominion endures from generation to generation. Nebuchadnezzar was at my home in my palace, contained and prosperous. I had a dream that made me afraid. As I was lying in bed, the images and visions that passed through my mind terrified me. So I commented that all the wise men of Babylon be brought before me to interpret the dreams for me. When the magicians, enchanters, astrologers, and diviners came, I told them the dream, but they could not interpret it for me. Finally, Daniel came into my presence and told him the dream. He is called Belteshazzar, after the name of my God, and the spirit of the holy God is in him. I said, Belteshazzar, chief of musicians, excuse me, I know that the spirit of the holy God is in you, and no mystery is too difficult for you. Here is my dream interpreted for me. There are the vision. These are the visions I saw while lying in bed. I looked, and there before me stood a tree in the middle of the land. Its height was enormous. The tree grew large and strong, and its top touched the sky. It was visible to the ends of the earth. Its leaves were beautiful, its fruit abundant, and on it was the food for all. Under it, the wild animals found shelter, and the birds lived in its branches. From it, every creature was fed. Let me fast forward. Blah blah blah. Daniel interprets the dream. Yeah, it did. 428. Thank you, John. That's well. There it is. All this happened to King, that guy, 12 months later, as the king was walking on the roof of the royal palace of Babylon. He said, "It's not is not this the great Babylon I have built as the royal residence by my mighty power and for the glory of the majesty." That wasn't it. I'm still not seeing. You know what? It's because I've went into NIV. Let me go back to the original. Hold on. That's because I want the NIV. 433 actually, John says the same hour was the thing fulfilled upon that was Nabakha, Nabuchodonosor. Nabuchodonosor, I guess that's how you say that. And he was driven from men and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagle feathers, and his nails like with claw. So that kind of goes, but it doesn't say werewolf. It just says it describes a werewolf, I guess you could say. Is there a werewolf in the Bible? Certainly, yes. For a little bit of background info, lycanthropy is defined as a rare psychiatric syndrome which involves the delusion that the affected person can or has transformed into an animal, or that he or she is an animal. The word lycanthropy comes from the Greek word lukos, which means wolf, and from the Greek word anthropos, which means man. Through the term I'm probably not saying these words right, but I can never pronounce words right. Literally means wolf. Lycanthropy can encompass a variety of animals. There are cases where patients have psychologically transformed into dogs, hyenas, cats, horses, birds, birds and turds, birds, tigers, frogs, and even bees. In the U.S., we have had about 35 published cases of clinical lycanthropy. Interestingly enough, the term lichen has gained mythical significance. The word is now connected to the supernatural affliction in which people are said to physically shapeshift into wolves. The myth ultimately has an unknown specific origin, though there are many hypotheses, which most are based somewhat from the actual documented mental disorder mentioned earlier. So, what does this information have to do with the lichen in the Christian Bible? Inner king of Babylon. He was the king who had Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego thrown into the fiery furnace for not bowing the knee to his 125-foot image of gold. Chapter 3 of Daniel, you know the story, after which when they did not perish inside the furnace, the king made a decree that every people, nation, and language would speak any amiss among the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. Historically, he was an extremely powerful ruler. Here's a quote from the historian Sir Henry Rawlinson. Modern research has shown that Nabokov was the greatest monarch that Babylon, or perhaps the East generally, ever produced. He must have possessed an enormous command of human labor, 9/10 of Babylon itself, and 19/20 of all the other ruins that in almost countless profusions cover the land. And I'm not going to go through all of that part. But you see, basically, he's saying that he was so powerful that anything he said was taken to heart by anyone. Even after the whole Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego incident. Dwelling with the beasts of the fields and will eat grass as oxen will do heaven. Do heaven in 7 years will pass over you till you know what the Most High rules the kingdom of men and gives to whoever he will. The God of Daniel was intended to curse Nebuchadnezzar and have him become a feast of the field. So, yeah, it talks about that condition, but it still doesn't. I mean, that's still a psychological case. That's not a physical rendering of a werewolf. So, but yeah, I see where you're going with that. So, dinosaurs and gyres and Book of Job. Yeah, yeah. I thought I remember reading about that. Okay, you spell it out all you want. I still can't say it. I know what it says. I just can't say it. Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah. See. Yeah. Those are those people that look like wolves fully covered with hair. They don't act like animals. Probably people were afraid of them. Made up stories. True. All right, what Cassandra is saying is there are those people that look like wolves, fully covered with hair, genetic anomalies, but they don't act like animals. Probably people were afraid of them and made up stories. Not necessarily those. That is a condition um, where the entire body's covered in hair, um, but that's not really what that's talking about. People did make up stories about them. Barnum's and Bailey really anybody that had any type of genetic anomaly, they capitalized on it in the turn of the century. Let's see here. Go back to Google's so smart. As soon as I put in the word, it pops it out. I'm trying to find that section of Job that talks about that. If dinosaurs were part of the original creation and taken on board Noah's Ark with the rest of the land dwelling animals, why aren't they mentioned in the Bible? Since the word dinosaur wasn't actually coined until 1841, the creatures we now refer to as dinosaurs were simply called dragons throughout most of history. Not only does the Bible use the word dragon repeatedly 21 times in the Old Testament, 12 times in the book of Revelation, the book of Job describes creatures called Behemoth and, I swear these words, Leviathan, which seem to indicate large reptilian beasts like dinosaurs, which would be chapters 40 and 41 in Job. 40, 15 through 19. Behold now Behemoth, which I made with thee. He eateth grass as an ox. Lo, now his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are as strong pieces of brass. His bones are like bars of iron. He is the chief of the ways of God. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. In Hebrew, the word behemoth translates as gigantic beast. For this animal to be described by God as the chief, it must certainly have been a huge and magnificent sight. Throughout history, dragons have been a huge part of folklore, each culture. So it's basically saying that it wasn't dragons and dinosaurs mentioned in the Bible. It was dinosaurs were mentioned as dragons. And he goes on to tell you what happened to them. So do your research on that. I don't want to go that far into it because dragons aren't part of today's cryptozoology. I don't think we have that many problems with dragons anymore, like we do Bigfoots and stuff like that. Let's see. Let me catch up here. See, I've seen that. Yeah, those are people that. Yes, thank you, John. That word that John said. That's the hair all over the body. Living in the deep woods, banished them to the wilderness when they became wild. Yep, Bigfoot origin solved. You never that you might have something there, John. And Cassandra, yeah, you might have something there. Absolutely. I'm talking about centuries ago if there was one born that way. Yeah. Hey, you never know. Leviathan. Yeah, I mean, y'all may have just figured it out. I mean, it's just as good a hypothesis as any of the rest of them. So you never know. All right. Is there any other questions or comments? Have we not covered anything that someone wanted to cover? I don't see that there could possibly be anything like a Leviathan or a behemoth left because a behemoth, excuse me, I can't say these words, y'all. A Leviathan or a behemoth. I don't see how there could be any of those left. We would definitely see those. They're not very good at hiding. So there could be some in the sea. There's been some evidence of very large creatures in the sea. So but hey, when it comes to cryptozoology, I think that there's a lot of that it's just animals that we don't know about. It's just animals that we don't see. It's creatures that we haven't been able to study yet. I've had experts, forestry experts and rangers and stuff like that tell me, stood in my backyard the day after I saw a black panther in my backyard jump about 20 feet into the air across a tree brush on my property line into my neighbor's property. I mean, we were standing 20 feet from him, if that, probably closer than 20 feet. We're standing about 15 feet from him. And he walked out behind a trailer, an old trailer that we used as storage, and was huge and orange-eyed, black as he can be. The only thing that was shiny, white and shiny on him was his teeth. And he jumped 20 feet, standing position over a tree brush, which lined my property line to my neighbor's property. And the next day, I had two experts standing in my backyard saying that it must have been a big dog, that panthers were not this far north. And 2 days later, a big cat expert, was doing a thing in Montgomery, and he came because the guys told me, he says, I got this expert coming and I'll bring him back and he'll tell you. And when he came back, he told the guy, he said, cat, it's a big cat. And he asked me what it looked like, and I told him, he said, panther. That's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. So, and I've heard that alligators aren't this far north before too. I heard that as well. So, and we used to see alligators all the time and as far north as Selma. So, all right. Good night, Donna. Bessie is a Leviathan. You mean Nessie? Thank you for the educating show. I've got to go to bed. Good night, y'all. Yes, definitely remind me about that, Donna. Thank you. Good night. There was a dinosaur caught in 1984. His rotten corpse was caught anyway. What? No, there wasn't. How did I not hear about that one, John? I don't think so. Show me a link. You got to prove that one to me. Rotten corpse meant that it was fresh. Its bones may have been found, but ain't no rotten corpse found. Missing 411 on the show. Missing 411 on the show. What are you talking about? What does that mean? I'll show you a picture. Okay, show me a picture. Send it to me. Missing 411 on the show. What does that mean? You confusing me, man. There was flesh. There ain't no flesh on no dinosaur, John. I'm telling you. You got to prove this. Send it to me. And if there was a fleshy dinosaur found, it was a hoax. That would have been like the news of the news. I was 14 in 1984. I would have remembered that. Of course, I was also extremely high in 1984. Well, from 1982 to 1980, or last Thursday. But so you never know. But yeah, you're gonna have to prove that one to me, brother.
I lost my so much. Daddy, watch.
Mm-hmm.
You see? That makes me more fun. Oh, you can do that.
He only acts like that when you come in here.
Yeah. Why?
Because you make him excited. Because he doesn't get to see you. He's locked in here. I'm looking at the photo now, John. Can you send me a link to the story on that, please?
No.
That looks like a movie set or something. I'm like a guy from Missouri. You got to show me. Sorry, 1977. I was still 7 years old. So I would have remembered that. Too much drugs back then. Yeah, way too much. I wasn't doing drugs when I was 7, but from 82 to 90 something. Yeah, I was pretty out there. I probably saw a few dinosaurs, but they wasn't being held from a hook and rotten. They were passing me a joint. Oh yes, on the David thing, David Pilates. I have talked to who I needed to talk to set it up, and it's not a no, but it's a not yet. This dude is booked solid for a long time, so y'all bear with me on that. David Pilates on the show. Yeah, I just remember I said I want to try to get him on the show. Not him on the show, but it'd be like a phone, like we did with Kyle Cobb, I think his name was. We'd do it like that. It's a possibility that can definitely happen, but it's going to be a while. Oh, is he going to be on? Y'all must be getting tired. I can't say anything and y'all can't type anything. First John's going to come up missing 411 on the show. I don't know what that, still don't know what that was about. Now you coming up on, is he going to be on? David Pilates on the show, not him personally on the show. I don't think I can make that happen. Probably have to pay him a lot of money to make that happen, but I want to try to get a phone interview on the show. We've talked about this. Y'all acting like it's a surprise. It's still isn't happening. Not for a while. This man he goes all over the place. That's all he does is travel and talk about missing 411. But I did hear about that. I finally found that video. You sent me that video and you told me about where it was going to be, where he talked about that gap in the strap that went right down the middle of the United States. I did hear that, and it made perfect sense, because of the rock formation and water that had to be, in the whole equation for a missing 411 case, an actual missing 411 case. Good boy. Okay, I got the link. I'll read it. But I did see that. That was pretty interesting. That kind of made sense, from his previous descriptions of what has to happen on the to be a missing 411, and it kind of made sense why that region is not, the settings and everything to fit his criteria was not indigent for that stripe down the center of the United States. So that made a lot of sense. That really answered that question. I was glad that you had heard that on that particular interview. But yeah, I'm still going to try to get him on. It's not going to be anytime soon. He's booked. He goes all over the place. I've heard people say that I've actually talked to people that said that he charges quite a bit to speak, but I've also heard people say that he does not charge to speak on do telephone interviews on shows. So I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how that goes. I don't know how that's going to work, but I will figure it out. Push the freaking merch, people. That's what we got to do, is get that merch selling. If we want to go to San Antonio this summer, we got to sell some merch. We want to do a investigation at the USS Alabama that I want to put together sometime this summer. We got to sell some merch. That's what I want to do. Sell merch. Sell merch. Everybody sell merch. But we're going to call it for tonight. Thank you guys. Cassandra says, yep, I'm tired. I'm tired too. But yeah, we're going to call it for tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. That was a long show tonight, wasn't it? That would rock. Yes, it would, John. I look forward to making that happen. I hope I really can pull that one off. But John, if you're not busy tomorrow, can you give me a call after 1 p.m.? Anytime after 1 p.m. It could be after you get off work. Just anytime after 1 p.m. Between 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. tomorrow, can you give me a call? And let's kind of hash back and forth on this North Alabama thing. Melissa, I don't know if you're still on or not, but if you are, give me a call anytime after 1 p.m. tomorrow, between 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. And we will talk about getting you set up for a 12:59 a.m. That's fine. But yeah, we'll get you set up for getting your haunted history tours put together. So if you're on, give me a call tomorrow between 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. Let's see. Thank you so much. Great show. Sorry, hubby and I got sidetracked about the Bible. Oh, that's okay, Shadows. We made you think and made you go look. So that's good. That's awesome. Got into a discussion. That's good. That's what this show is all about, is getting people talking. I don't have a topic for next Sunday. We will be back on, so you guys join us next Sunday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't have a topic for tonight so far. Or for next Sunday, but so far what it's going to be is open mic night. So anybody wants to just talk about paranormal, anything you want to talk about, we will talk about it. So, yep, that's the point of the whole show. That's right, John, is get people talking. Get the real paranormal out there. That's why we do what we do. So I love you guys. I will see you next Sunday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, same bat time, same bat channel. You guys have a paranormal week, and we will see you next weekend. And we will see you at the meet and greet on the 20th. I think that is next Saturday, isn't it? Let's see real quick before we shut her down. No, it is not next Saturday. It's a week from next Saturday. Yep, 1 week from next Saturday. It's the 20th. So we will have another show before then. So I will see you guys next Sunday. Love you guys. I want you guys to have a paranormal week. And we will be back. Don't worry about doing any homework this week, because we're just going to do an open mic. So anything you want to talk about. You want to do research on your own for a subject to bring up? Absolutely do that. Put me to the test. Love you guys. See you next week.